Kind of sounds like Ninja Turtles when I do
it.
It
does. I think he started
Ninja Turtles.
I think he started doing Ninja Turtles in there. Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Invincible podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. A show where friends and I discuss all things Invincible, a comic book by Robert Kirkman. I'm Ryan Sidoti, and joining me today is Bill Hake.
Hello.
And TJ Deween.
Hello. Again.
Today's topic is going to be all about the new issue that just came out, issue 127. Before we get into that, though, a couple things. I just want to remind everybody that you can email us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. Also, did you know about the Eisner Award?
Yep.
That was kind of cool. Invincible was nominated for Best Continuing Series for an Eisner Award. The series that it's up against, we have I haven't heard of much of these. I mean, I know Silver Surfer, Southern Bastards, Giant Days, and Bandette. Professionals in the comic book industry are eligible to vote. The deadline for voting is June 17th, and we find out July 22nd at Comic-Con.
So is this going to be like a regular where it's an episode we'll have a topic and then another episode when a new issue comes out, now that they're coming out more regularly, like it kind of like a review, or just
I'm
a
hoping
conversation about it?
I'm hoping that every other episode that we do now is going to be about a new issue.
Yeah.
Hoping that one issue comes out a month from now on. We don't get any more crazy delays.
They also come out at random times out of the month. It's not going.
Exactly.
It doesn't come out every 2 weeks. It just comes out once a month. So one could come out the first week of next month, and then one can come out the last week of the following month.
Mm-hmm. At the end of the new issue, Kirkman said that Ottley was already done with his first issue, and he's already working on the next
issue. He's done with 33 and 133
and he's starting 134.
How many is Corey Walker doing?
He's done with
Walker's doing 5.
5?
I thought he was doing 6.
No, 5 more. Yeah, 6 total. Yeah, so we have 5 more because he's doing essentially one trade paperback, half a volume. So, but I guess we'll get right into it because that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. I think it's the most obvious. I think it's the first thing everybody thinks of. I asked Matt, a good friend of ours, some of his thoughts, and he gave me 2 things. He posed 2 questions to us. The first thing he said, he's not a fan of Corey Walker's art style. To each their own, I guess. However, I feel like switching between Ottley and Walker takes me out of the arc, almost like it is a spin-off of the other. Thoughts on this, or am I being too nitpicky?
I agree.
I can see how you can think it's almost a spin-off kind of thing where it's separate. I think that, and I've seen this online a lot, but people are being a little too hard on Walker, like saying that he's shit and it's the worst and everything like that. Like, I don't prefer it. I definitely don't prefer it. I know that. I mean, it's definitely gotten better. I mean, you look back at some of the early stuff with Corey Walker, and looking through the new issue, pretty much anytime anybody's crying, it looks a little rough.
Which
is a lot of this issue.
You know what?
Here's the thing, though.
But
like Matt's saying that switching back and forth between Ottley and Walker takes him out of the story. I mean, there were comic books, like I think 89 through 93. Those issues were done by Ottley and Corey Walker.
Yeah, I love
that. Switching back and forth.
I actually liked that because that was when
actually didn't look too bad.
No, that's when Walker was doing the Flax on Dimension with Robot and Obstacle, and I like that because it actually made it look like it was an alternate storyline. It was separate,
and that was them switching back and forth in single issues.
Mm-hmm.
So
this shot, one of the last pages,
I was just on that one
in the new issue of Eve when she tells Mark that there was someone else. That's amazing. Like, that looks great.
His art looks
but
then you go to the very first panel,
I know.
The first picture of the comic, and it shows the very first thing that you see is Mark's face, looking shocked, looking at his daughter, and I think it looks terrible. I don't like his face at all.
It's just different.
It was the very first thing that I saw.
It's just different, and I think it's hard getting.
I wasn't a fan of
We're
it.
just big fans of Ottley, and it's just different going from that to this. I mean, Ottley does have a little bit more realistic. This is just a little bit more animated looking.
Yeah, I think that Corey Walker because you're right. And that's so weird because whenever I saw him cry, I'm like, why don't I like how anyone's face looks when they're crying? Like, I just don't like it, and I just think he has a hard time with emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's cool because Cory Walker birthed the series, you know
what
I mean?
Yeah, and he's contributed a lot. Right, I meant to go back and find it, and I forgot, but in one of the back of the, in the sketchbook column in the back of the volumes and trades and such, Ottley talks about how he was stuck, and he couldn't figure out how to design a certain character's outfit. I think it was something to do with Battle Beast or something like that, and Walker actually helped him.
I know, I hate it.
Yeah, but Walker actually designed the costume for some of these. He's responsible for a lot of the stuff creatively, whether or not, I mean, yeah, this one when Mark says you've grown so big and his face, he looks like an old man.
Yeah. But I feel like there are points in the comic where they're not crying, and I didn't care for it. It's just my own
almost everything
opinion.
With Tara looks great though.
My own personal opinion, but
yeah,
there were certain things that I don't know. I personally wasn't a fan of it. I
miss
Ottley.
People say, people saying online that it looks unfinished and stuff like that. But
that's just. I mean, that's
it looks a little anime to me.
But that's what I mean. It's different. It's just different.
Another thing that I don't even know what my opinion is because it's like he came back. We'll start getting into the story, but he came back, and one of the characters that he saw that he hadn't seen in 5 years was Oliver. And I don't know if I don't like the way Oliver looks or if I just don't like Cory Walker.
Cory Walker is going to do...
I think Ottley's Oliver is going to look a little different. I mean,
exactly. I agree.
But we'll get more into Oliver, I think.
Like
I'm just talking about the
art of it, yeah.
Like a village person?
He's always everybody.
He should be singing.
He does look like
everybody has always said
a village
that
person.
What that was it? Thrag was like Freddie Mercury.
But Thrag looks freaking badass. I mean, even on that last cover, he looks okay.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like he looks cool. But this is the first time.
It's because Oliver's mustache is so thin.
It's so thin, and he's wearing. It looks like he's wearing overalls.
He kind of looks like a pedophile.
He does look like a pedophile, and I don't mean to offend all. I'm sure we're gonna get some emails from the pedophiles out there like we don't look like Cory Walker drew us, but that's not what we're getting at. Yeah.
All right. So Mark comes back, and we get the rest of where we left off. Him saying that he's her father. I really liked Tara's response. I liked that, one thing that I was wondering, what did Eve say to Tara? We don't know.
Who knows? We might get a flashback.
Tara seems okay with it. She's like, her response is, I still love you. Like, she doesn't have any issue with it, apparently.
I think that Eve told her.
You think she explained to her? I mean, this has happened.
Mark.
I don't know why she would have a reason to lie to her. Or keep anything from
We're obviously going to find out a lot more, and I think what would be cool is if they do like a really quick flashback, like the next issue. It's like each page is like a year, you know what I mean? Or like every other page is like a year of her growing up. And
what's happened.
What's happened. I mean, they could spend a lot of time. It's 5 years worth of...
I'm looking up. I love this. So one of my favorite scenes with Tara was, what was it? I have it right now.
123?
120, actually. Was when
he's spending all the time
he has like his day with her, and he's like, daddy-daughter day, and they're just playing and everything. This was 123?
Was it? I don't know. Or was it 122?
Well, I have it as 120. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but...
Maybe.
Because I remember, like, this was the first thing I thought of when they're, when he was talking to her in the beginning of this issue, was what he said to her. I'm just going to read it here. It says, when he's talking to her and he's saying, I'm going to make a promise to you right now. I'm going to keep it. I swear I will. I will always be here for you. I'm not going to get killed. I'm not going to get lost in another dimension. I'm not going to disappear. I'm going to be careful, oh so careful for you and your mommy, but mostly you, if I'm honest. If I ever need to talk to someone when you're able to talk, or if you ever need to talk to someone when you're able to talk, I'll be there. But yeah, he goes on to that, like, and then what? Like, 4 issues later, he's in another dimension for 5 years.
Well, that's Mark for you. And Invincible.
Yeah, the daddy-daughter day was 123.
That was I loved that whole issue. I loved that whole. It was so funny.
It was a good send off right before reboot. It had not a lot of story in it. It was just him spending time with his daughter, Eve getting time to herself.
Yep, that was 123. But in 120 was the issue where he
said the quote that you just talked about.
I know there was 2 days or whatever. There was 2 times where he had
that art is just.
Did you catch that, TJ?
No, I didn't. What's that?
That's Tara's doll. And when she's in bed, when Mark and Eve go and have their conversation on the couch or whatever, they look in at Tara while she's sleeping, and she has a bicornuclops doll.
Okay.
Ottley.
Yeah.
Ottley does these sketches
just for fun.
On Twitter and stuff like that. He always does like morning sketches and warm-up sketches and everything like that.
One of them.
And one of them is a unicorn where instead of eyes, he just has horns. So it's bicorn instead of unicorn. And it's a cyclops, so it's bicornuclops. That was a neat little Easter egg. As well as the Easter egg in this one when Eve and Mark are walking towards Tara's, school or daycare or whatever it is.
School, I think, probably.
That's a Rick and Morty reference, apparently. I don't watch Rick and Morty, but did you know about that, TJ?
No, but I can see it. I know who they are.
Well, no, it's what he's saying, not the guy.
Good morning, my Glip Glop?
Yeah, apparently Glip Glop. I had to ask Tyler about this. I don't know. But Glip Glop apparently is basically the N-word that aliens use to each other, but it's not cool if somebody else says it.
Oh.
Yeah, and then she made a reference. Hers was from Comedy Bang Bang, which is a podcast. A Hey Nong Man is another one. So it's just little things that I don't know if that's Walker or Kirkman putting those in there, but two little Easter eggs, I guess. We got to see Alan.
I loved that him hugging him like that, like he's a stupid idiot, like. But wasn't he purple?
He was,
and he's straight up orange in this.
Are you saying prior to?
Yeah, like I remember Alan being. No. I'm saying just in general.
So
I remember him starting out as purple.
He kind of was. Like he was orange the first time you see him. You see like a snippet like of him in like issue 1 or 2 or whatever. When you see just his like face when Nolan is explaining that he's protecting Earth and it shows that he fought him. But then the next time you see him, he's purple, and I believe he's purple from then on. But yeah, he starts to become orange. When did he start to become orange?
I don't know. Like here, there, purple.
That's a weird drawing.
That's not him actually. Well, okay, look, here's one. Look, purple. Like he's purplish.
He's kind of purplish. Is he only purple in space?
Maybe? Oh, and then he is kind of orange.
Yeah, what color is Alan? Write in. Let us know what you think. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he has been purple and he has been orange. That's weird. I don't know. But when I was reading that scene, though, until I got to the end of it, I was like, wow, Alan's being kind of an asshole. I mean, he immediately asks Mark to go back out there. He's like, yeah, Thrag's still out there. We need you to go take care of that.
Well, obviously things are pretty bad if he's...
Well, yeah, but, I mean, and I like the fact that, like, Mark, like, puts him in his place, says he's been gone for 5 years, so tough shit. And, I think that's... I mean, they apologize and say, hey, sorry, I snapped at you and everything like that. And I guess that's okay. I mean, it just... Alan was kind of a asshole move.
He's always been kind of not insensitive, but just says what he feels and what he wants. Like he doesn't. I don't think he has a very good filter. You know what I mean? Like he's always apologizing.
Well, also he's in charge of the coalition now. I mean, he has to put that first. And if he has been such an issue, he has said that the last 5 years have been hard, and they've lost a lot of people, a lot of fleets, and everything like that.
Except if Thrag's going to attack anyone, wouldn't it be where they are right now? And everyone seems to be doing just fine.
So far, yeah. We don't know
what's
happened.
He's building, though. I mean, I think he has been building.
But they've gone after him. I mean, Alan says they've attempted it.
Yep.
Wait, we don't know what happened to...
Space Racer?
Yeah, Space Racer.
No, we don't.
Because that's the...
I posed that...
You had a theory that Space Racer is working with Thrag.
Well, I thought that maybe, like, after 5 years, I was like, what if he's working with him? We don't know what happened. Like... He could have just, or what if, he killed him and found a way to use the gun, you know what I mean?
Or he's in prison and he's, like, getting information from him.
Yeah.
Or it could be any of those things.
In the first issue of Reboot... They go to that planet and they find the spy who witnessed the fight. And he did say that Thrag and Space Racer fought.
Yeah. Oh, we see them. We see Space Racer shooting at him, like...
Yeah, so I don't...
That's the last time we saw them.
I personally don't... I'm not saying that it's... Definitely not, but I don't think that... I think Space Racer's dead.
Do you?
I do. If he's not dead, he's imprisoned or something. I don't think that he's working with Thrag.
I mean, I feel like he doesn't stand a chance against Thrag, except for his gun. I mean, that's the only thing. But I mean, why keep us holding on that long? Why not just show him kill him?
He's an immortal, though, isn't he? Because he was buried.
Only if he has his gun in his hand or something?
No.
Because that's how they brought him back. Remember, he was buried.
Are you that in suspense of whether or not Space Racer's alive or not?
Kind of.
It's like a big unanswered question.
Wasn't that the end of an issue?
Yeah, it was the end of the issue. It was a one big, huge panel, him racing away, shooting behind him.
Yeah, it was Thrag right above him.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously thought it was a big deal to end it with that. I love Tara. I thought she was really cute in this. I thought she's really cool. Getting the robot. I'm going to call him Eddie. Mm-hmm. I thought that was kind of cool. But meanwhile, we've got Eve sleeping alone. They decide to go to they tell Alan they're going to go to that planet.
Which she made.
So here's the question. Did she make the planet or did she make the house?
She made the house. She made everything outside of
I think she
didn't make the entire planet.
I think she made the planet. It's pink.
No,
look at the whole sky's all
pink. They talk about...
She said to Alan that, we talked about it. We're going to take him to the planet, whatever it was called. Catholaknak. Yeah, they never say that. That could still mean she made it. We don't know that. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
I think it's supposed to show how powerful she is now. Gotten within 5 years, that she can create an entire planet.
Whether she created the planet, which is cool that she's gotten that powerful, or if she just created everything around it, which is cool because that's just like in Africa. We haven't seen her do something on that scale since Africa. And I thought that was really neat. So all issue, well, I can't say all issue because there was a couple times where she's got
She didn't create it. She said, "This is really nice. How did you find it?" And she said, "I built it," talking about the house. And then he's like, "Oh wow, nice." And then she said, "Yeah, Alan recommended this planet."
Okay. So yeah. Yep. So it was a planet. She just built everything around it. Good catch. So throughout the issue, other than, when they're standing in the doorway looking at Tara sleeping and she's got her arms around him, or when they're on the couch and she's got her knees on him, otherwise she's sleeping on the couch, or I guess the proverbial couch. She's distant. She's kind of looking away. I mean, so we get the scene where she says that, a lot has changed in 5 years and there was someone else.
You slut.
Well, here's the thing. I took that as there was someone else. I don't think that person's still around.
Yeah, it's not still going on.
Well, I think the fact that she's still kind of, she's still with them. She goes to a planet with him. Like, obviously, I don't think that person is still around.
And I think Mark's going to be extremely understanding of that. He always has been. And he might even say, hey, guess what? I was raped.
Well,
no, that happened already.
Did he tell him? Oh, yeah.
He happened about... That actually happened. I think he's going to be more understanding because the way that kind of transpired was him saying I was raped, and she said, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it." And then he was like, "No, listen, like I probably could have fought her off."
Well, he said he might have been able to,
yeah, and he's like, "I didn't try," and I kind of wonder whether or not I wanted it to happen. And then she walked away and crying, and then everything happened with Tara not breathing, and it kind of left it in the background, and then that's how they kind of made up what was through the love of their child.
Yeah, I mean, after everything that Mark has put Eve through, the amount of times he's disappeared and come back, and the injuries she's sustained, like, it'd be crazy for him not to be okay with this.
But I think it's going to be a bigger deal because I think it's...
You think it's more than that?
Someone? You think it's someone who's a big deal?
I do.
Like Alan?
I think it is Alan.
I think everybody is crazy, first of all. Everybody is crazy for thinking it's Alan. Also, at the party, he's still with his girlfriend. Alan is still with his girlfriend at the party in this issue.
They could have had one night where it was
right there.
Just... But wait, how is he looking at... Okay, he's looking at her kind of...
Yeah, no.
I think that it's a nobody character that we've never met.
I think it's... Yeah, I do.
It doesn't have to be somebody.
It's been 5 years.
No, it doesn't have to be somebody.
I think it's a nobody. Do you remember Alan's girlfriend's name? I did not remember his girlfriend's name, and I looked it up. I'm going to see if you guys can guess it. I have 4 multiple choices.
Okay, go.
Ready?
Don't look.
Is it... No, you can look. The answer isn't there. Is it A, Talia, B, Hana, C, Lixna, D, Alina?
Hana.
TJ, you say Hana?
I'm going to go with... Okay, Talia, Hana. Lixna sounds... I'm going to go with C.
Lixna?
I'm going to go with Lixna.
It's Talia. It's the first one.
I didn't want to say that, though, because it...
Yeah, I know. I had no idea either. I had to look it up. I couldn't remember. I knew it was something like that, and I made up the other ones.
She's hot for an alien.
So there's no way. There's no way. And then what? Just why even show her in that scene if that's not the case? Also, Oliver has 2 babies. 2 red babies.
Yep.
I guess before we get on to Oliver, though, I think it has to be somebody we don't know, and I think that person is gone now. I don't know. I mean, there's no other humans that we know of.
She hasn't left the... Well, she could have left the planet, but she can't... No. I don't know, because she seems so at home there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's been there the whole time, getting used to everybody, so it would have to be someone that was on the planet. I think it was Alan. I think that would be a shock. I think Alan counseled her, and then she was like, one thing.
I could see Alan saying, like, when you came back, I was so nervous, and I saw you, and I just, they were best friends.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, it is a common theory. I have a friend that thinks that.
So the reason why people are thinking this was because in a previous issue, Alan clearly said like, "Oh, and
hey, if you need anything."
Yeah, and his smile, and if you need anything, I'm a really awesome guy, and she's like, "Oh, I'll keep that in mind." And fucking.
But that's how you took it.
That's a direct quote.
What about the fact that he wanted Mark to just leave away
again?
Like he was so insensitive about it because
I think that is supporting it. And what, showing him with the girlfriend or ex-girlfriend now is a red herring? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just don't. I'm voting no, but I don't think it's crazy yet.
That hurt though. Like
it can't be Oliver. We know that because he's still with his girlfriend.
He's clearly with his girlfriend.
His girlfriend's name?
No, and I was gonna look that one up too and do the same quiz. Do you?
I do.
Really? Is it like
They say it in this issue.
Yeah, it's in this issue. That's how I
because he says even whoever are getting along
are actually getting along, and that was kind of cool. It's Haluna.
I knew it. Damn it! I was gonna say it's like Hana, but
the last time we really see her was when Tara got sick and went to the hospital. She wasn't breathing. It was because, well, we don't really know the reason, but they got Mark and Oliver's girlfriend Haluna got into a huge argument saying it was. Mark was saying it was your food. What the heck did you feed her? And then she's like, "Are you kidding me? It wasn't my food. You were shoveling my food into your mouth. You brought a baby to a strange planet. Think of the radiation. Think of that." So they got into a huge fight, and now, like 5 years later, Eve and her are like really good friends. I thought that was really cool that they touched on that.
Mm-hmm. I love the scene of them sitting there, and Mark's just reading, and they're just sitting up against him.
And he's just happy to be back.
Again, I don't think Eve would be doing that if she was still with somebody. She said there was somebody else. I think that person's out of the picture, whether they've died or maybe they're off fighting Thrag. You know what I mean?
You can't even be mad. It's 5 years. What were you doing 5 years ago, Ryan?
I know.
What were you doing 5 years ago? Where was I 5 years ago? What year was it? It was...
You were preparing for your first child.
Right, and now I have another one, and a dog, and a house. Like, so much has changed. Like, 5 years is a long-ass time. Like, you can't... I was mad at her.
Katie and I started dating.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. And your wedding's like, a hip hop anonymous.
Tell me we get all the easy
ones. Yeah.
All right. So should we talk about
Oliver?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he's got 2 kids. They look like a cross between Blue Baby Oliver and what's her name? Hexna?
No, they look straight up human. Just different color, right? Look at their faces. Do they have...
Oh, no, they don't have, like, manacles or anything.
Oh, wait.
No, that's her
those
arms.
are her hands, okay.
I think. So, yeah, but we do know that Viltrumites have dominant DNA.
Yeah, they're very... Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I mean, when we did the first episode, TJ, and we were talking about Oliver, did I say then that when Mark comes back, he's going to have a mustache? If I didn't say it, I definitely thought it.
You might have, we talked about it. I'm pretty sure.
I was so excited to see him with a mustache, despite the fact he looks a little.
We were talking about. We were worried that we discussed how old he was going to look.
Yeah,
and I think we talked about like, he might have a mustache, or it's gonna be something subtle.
Yeah, and that's just exactly what I wanted. I wanted him to look a little bit older than Mark, and he does.
That right awesome. There though. Right when I saw the mustache, that was a dead giveaway.
That he was bad.
That he was like more towards Viltrumite because Mark has never like fully gone like he's.
So we haven't seen Oliver a lot in the last 50 issues or so. Like, he's been away for a lot of it. I mean, we saw him a little bit. He helped Mark.
They were together for a huge part of it.
The whole time since he
was on Telescria. Yeah, but before that, there was like a huge gap where we didn't see him because he was on Telescria, and then he was with Alan for a while, and then he came back, and there's the whole poison thing, and then he went back to Telescria. But we haven't seen a lot of him. But back when Oliver was first introduced and he was growing up and everything, there was a lot of storylines involving his character and whether or not he was good. I remember when Oliver first came onto the scene, you, TJ, thought that he was going to be bad. Like, I remember us talking about him fighting, and there's even an issue with him fighting on the cover, and that's after, like, Oliver was saying, like, oh, maybe I have no connection to the human race. I have nothing. I am, why not? That he took on the name Kid Omni-Man because he was proud of what his dad did and everything like that. Has this
Damian Wayne?
Yeah, I was going to say very Damian Wayne. He seemed very Damian Wayne.
Exactly.
Stole it. I knew I was going to say that, you dick.
No.
Has this always been a part of him? And on top of that, is Oliver actually that bad? I mean, is he covering for Mark? I mean, we don't know his intentions right here.
Read the last bit there.
So he kisses her goodnight and goes to sit down at his computer and says, all quiet on this front, just checking in as scheduled. Any updates on your brother? Says Thrag. And Oliver says, they're vacationing off-world. I'm telling you, he's out of the picture. I think he may never get involved. And Thrag says, excellent. We'll find out if you're right very soon.
All of those Viltrumite
children,
alien hybrids, that's Oliver. Like, he has so much more connection to those people. Why does he have any other...
And I love how in this last page, the glow of the computer makes Oliver the same color skin as all the other Viltrumites. When he's clearly, normal white-skinned earlier. But yeah, I love
that this is the storyline.
Do you like this?
I love this. When it ended like this, I was really, it made me happy because I was just talking to you the other day about how the last time my stomach really dropped in a comic was the death of Angstrom Levy. And that whole issue 107 was just amazing. And then we come back, and this is like a legitimate story. Like, leading up to this, we got a lot of great story, but this is like a plot twist. And I like we got the death of Battle Beast, and all that was good. But this is like a legitimate plot twist where someone's character is being called into question. And I think that's awesome. I have theories, though. I have a theory, and it's very outlandish. But I want to see what you guys think of it.
Okay. While you find that, TJ, I love the fact that this last page shows infant baby Viltrumites in the background, which just goes to show it's still happening.
So many.
There's probably hundreds of these. But I told TJ back in, I think it was episode 1, what if Thrag adopted the old Viltrumite rules of kill the weak? You know what I mean? There could be hundreds, but there also could be, 20 or 30 really strong ones.
I think there's way more than hundreds. I think there's thousands.
Well, that's what I mean.
Think about how many babies it showed.
Yeah.
In the first bit.
Oh yeah,
it's been 5 years, and these things age. So
now
much
I'm
faster.
assuming these are the oldest two right up front. So I think and that kind of follows with. Well, does that follow with Oliver's aging? 5 years later, he looked like that. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like those are his oldest. But we'll see. I mean, that's gonna be interesting. He has an army of Viltrumite children, essentially. Mm-hmm. So, did you find it yet, TJ?
Yep, I got it. It actually happened in issue 122. Mm-hmm. What happened was, at this time, this planet was still very new to Eve, and she was going through a lot of issues with all the weird things that have been happening, and her getting used to the planet. Now, it happened very quickly, and it was very subtle. But they were walking through what looked like a park. I believe they were going to Alan's house for dinner, and there was like this weird, old-looking blue alien that reached up and said, "A little help." And Eve was like, "Oh, don't touch it. It's probably asking for money, or if it's not asking for money, it's going to turn into something hideous and attack us or something." So they just kept walking. Then there was another beige-looking alien, kind of strong-looking, that actually helped it up. When it helped the alien up, the blue alien turned into a clone of the alien that helped it up and said, "This is much better, thanks." and the alien that helped it up looks surprised. This is not something that's
common.
That's common on this planet. There's an alien on this planet that can mimic other
beings. Anything else, yeah.
Now,
wow, is that the only time we saw that?
That's the only time we saw it. And when I think that this could be a major thing.
That is a good catch. I did not remember that.
5 years is up.
So
what could have changed? Is that even Oliver?
Yeah. Oliver could be away somewhere.
Oliver could be trapped or something. He could, I mean,
Alan could be somewhere.
Yeah, it's very outlandish, but I definitely think.
But why show that? Why show that? Especially the reaction on this other alien's face when there's a clone of him now.
If there's one thing that we've learned, it's everything has a purpose in these comic books, and that you're right, TJ. That's like there's no other reason to show that at all. And look, you can kind of see. So this guy's down, old, tired, maybe maybe
very weak.
Yeah, so maybe like he can take someone's, once he takes their form, he gets their power again or something like that. Who knows? But Oliver was acting like Oliver, like you said.
No, wait,
such a pussy and stuff.
Okay, for some reason I thought the one helping him up was the one that was cloning him. It's this guy, the old alien that's on. Yeah,
that
when he touched someone, he turns into them.
He turns into the guy that helped him up.
He has elbow pads on. That's very weird. Why does he have elbow pads on? I'm serious. Why does he have elbow pads on?
I don't know.
We got to look for elbow pads and other issues.
Interesting. Yeah. And it's not subtle enough where it's nothing that, I don't know. That's good. Good catch.
5 years later, this alien could be anybody.
Oh, yeah.
That we know. Any characters that we know.
Wow.
I kind of wanted to talk about some things back home and how we kind of left off. I don't think we ever talked about that in our opinions about where it's going to go and what's happening back home. For like 4 issues in a row, we got nothing but Oliver and Eve on Telestria and how they were coping with that. And then, finally, in issue 121, we had a whole issue of what was going on back home, and then we haven't seen anything since 121. But in issue 121, Zandale gets burned in the face from the explosion, and toward the end, Robot's like, we can fix it, and he's like, no, after everything I've done, I deserve this, I want to look like this. So he's kind of good now, and it's been 5 years.
I don't think he's good. I took that as him accepting that he's a villain. I took that as him accepting that it's the Two-Face thing. It's like, no, he's choosing to look this way, he is a villain, he wants everybody to know what he's done.
I don't think that's interesting. But, like, Robot doesn't consider himself a villain. Like, I don't know why he would accept the fact that he's a villain and not change.
I think he knows what he did to his friends and everything like that, and he knows they won't take him back, and he looks that way. But I don't think he'd expect his friends to take him back, and he wants to look, like that. I don't know, but that's just the way I took that. I can't picture us going back to Earth and burned Zandal is like invincible and he's still working with the good guys. Like, I can't see that.
Well, here, I'll just read it.
I think that he is I don't think that he's like a good guy, but I think that he's questioning how Robot does things, and he's not okay with the way that Robot does things. That's how I took it.
No, I could see that too. Maybe more vigilante.
He says, this is who I am, the things I've done, this better reflects what's on the inside. And then Robot says, we're doing good here, Zandal. And then Zandal says, I believe that, I know that. That's not what I was talking about. So I think it's more along the lines of
I thought that as like, what reflects on the inside. Like, remember all the stuff with his family, his parents, and his girlfriend killing his mother, and then him killing his father, and like ever since that happened, he's been tormented inside. Like, he knows what kind of person he is, and especially after this, Interesting though.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted. Subtly, I thought it was cool in that issue, the same issue where D.A. Sinclair was kind of turned on Robot and was helping the Guardians and
took off in his rocket.
In a rocket before Robot could get to him. And again, it's been 5 years, so what's he up to? And then that whole issue ended with half of the Guardians, including Britt, kind of see the other side and join Robot. So that was another major thing. Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Do you have the list of the heroes that stayed behind, or if that issue in front of you?
I think
it was Monster Girl, which is still
it's the very, very last page.
Which is still one of my favorite things. Was the fight, if you call it that, between Robot and Monster Girl when Robot turned, like, yeah, we've got Monster Girl, oops, no, that was fine. Monster Girl, Best Tiger. I'm saying the ones that stayed behind.
They're right here.
Yeah. Monster Girl, Best Tiger, D.A. Sinclair. Oh, so D.A. Sinclair stayed. So he's still on Earth. It's not like he took off somewhere. I was going to say, hey, maybe he's headed to Telestria, but
I don't. Oh, okay. I didn't think that this at the end of this issue was on Earth. But maybe I was mistaken.
Duplicate, Immortal, Speedster. I forgot her name. The one from Invincible Universe. Yeah. Part of me hoped that Earth would be further along than 5 years, and Robot made Earth a better place, more technological advanced. There's flying cars and robots patrolling, and Immortal is king. I thought that would have been cool, because then that would almost line up with everything. Immortal saying, "You left with your family. Are you still sick? I don't remember." But I can't.
All the other heroes would be old.
But then, none of that would really make sense. We'd miss out on a lot of stuff. And why would Earth be that much further along? Like, I don't know. But I did consider that, and I thought that would be kind of neat. But yeah, I don't know. I just know. I hope that we go back and Robot has made Earth even better. And it is much further along. Earth looks completely different.
Yeah. Another thing is right in the beginning of the next issue after 121, 122, it starts with Alan talking to a leader from Battle Beast's planet. And he was giving his regrets about how like Battle Beast was their warrior of their planet. And he said, it sucks that we lost him. Is there anybody else like Battle Beast on your planet? And he says, no, there's never been anybody like Battle Beast, but there is a prophecy of another... ... and it doesn't go back to that. So there could be another...
I would not put that past both Kirkman and Ottley. They're such huge fans of Battle Beast.
There's going to be another one.
For there to be another Battle Beast, like maybe like a female version or something, like there is... Yeah, but there is a prophecy of another.
Which reminded me of like...
Star Wars.
It did, yeah.
There is another.
He's our only hope. No, there is another.
Yep. But
so
maybe.
I'm looking forward to seeing where that's going to go.
There are a lot of ties. I mean, it's exciting that we got monthly Invincible back. And then next issue, I want to talk a little bit about the cover of next issue, because by the time we talk about it, we'll have read the issue. And I like the fact that a lot of times, and this is both with Walking Dead and Invincible, there's a lot of times Kirkman will... write a cover or a description for a cover for the artist to draw, and it's very misleading a lot of time. I mean, a lot of these covers go out way before even the art is even finished in that issue and before people read it, so they try to avoid spoilers in a way, and sometimes they're intentionally misleading. But what do we think based on the cover for the next one? I mean, it shows Alan beat up, a little bit fighting, a little bloodied.
Alan the alien is under attack. Has Mark's absence put all his friends and family in danger? Will he be able to put things right before it's too late?
Now, the thing about that is his friends and family. Well, I was going to say, is that referring to everyone back on Earth? But no, his friends would include Alan and...
Yeah. I think that the cover, it shows Alan all beat up, and the description says that Alan is under attack and things like that. I'm assuming... based on my theory, that Mark is going to beat the shit out of him, because he's going to find out that Alan was with Eve for a night.
Okay, so again, that goes back to the Eve and Alan theory. But even with that theory, and if that was true, I don't like that Mark and Eve were on that planet for a couple days. I expected them to be there for a while. I actually feel like Mark and Eve might be on that planet for the next couple of issues.
With the place that she built?
Yeah. I don't see next issue them coming back from vacation.
They could. I mean, she just dropped a pretty big fucking bomb on him.
He could fly back
and start asking everybody.
Did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck?
I don't know. My first impression was Oliver's cover is going to be blown.
Look at the look on Alan's face though. He's got
so
like
awesome.
a smirk on him though. Like he's like,
well, it's like, oh yeah, you think you can hurt me?
Yeah.
But again, I mean, these covers can be misleading.
You know what? He wouldn't have that. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's his knee. I thought it was.
I mean, kind of going back to the again, this is very outlandish, but the cloning thing. If you had the ability to clone other aliens, why wouldn't you choose the most powerful alien in the
Alan versus
galaxy?
Alan?
Alan is he's the most powerful being in the entire Invincible series thus far.
I don't think they're gonna do like a huge arc with that alien yet, because think about like the sequids, how like it slowly showed
and I love
a little thing after
that.
thing. Because if you and I and everybody else missed that except for you, TJ, but everybody else did, they're not gonna.
But what if they do this? Everybody missed that. There was that little Easter egg or whatever you call it that you found, TJ, that we just talked about earlier. What if next issue, Alan fights Alan? There's really no explanation. We know that there's a clone out there or somebody, either a clone of Alan or somebody that can shape change, and then suddenly that starts rumors or theories about, well, is Oliver really Oliver or is he not? And then that starts all of that. So maybe that isn't a bad way to reintroduce that character if that cloning character is going to come up.
And it could be a race of those aliens. Like, who's to say it's just one alien? It could be multiple.
That's true. It has been 5 years.
Invading, who knows? That would be a cool one, though, Alien versus Alien. But I don't think that they would, like I said, I think that they planted that seed because there's too much going on right now with, like, the whole Viltrumite stuff. Like, I think that they're going to just seed that throughout, like, maybe each comic.
But is this a good spot to leave Mark and Eve? Eve might not finish her sentence next issue. It might be all on Telescria. Or maybe on Earth.
I hope it's on Earth, but we know it's not.
I know.
Because I think that the next Earth one is going to be all on Earth, and we know just based off of the cover of the next one that it's going to involve Alan, so it's not going to be Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One thing that they said, too, is that, again, with we talked earlier about how Ottley is done with 133 and 134. Ottley and Kirkman also said Ottley is preparing for a massive storyline, so that something crazy is about to happen. Even expanding more on that, if he's done with 133 and 134, Ottley just tweeted a couple days ago, "Man, I miss drawing Mark in costume."
Yeah.
And he's on 134.
Think about it. When was the last time we saw Mark in costume?
It's been a long time.
It was before he left Earth. I mean, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then again, maybe that was after he could have read the new issue and he's just thinking about it. But you're right. That is,
or maybe he was saying it like, "Oh man, I've missed it. Good thing I'm doing it now." Like that
I hope
kind
so.
of thing.
I hope so. It's been a while, but I don't know. It's exciting. I mean, it's cool. We're getting new monthly issues again. We got 5 more issues of Cory Walker, then the return of Ottley with a massive storyline. Invincible is nominated for an Eisner Award for Best Continuing Series. That's cool. We'll find more about whether or not that wins come Comic-Con. Did you have anything else, TJ?
I have a question.
Sure.
Right now it's set. It's kind of going off of the last of what we were just talking about him being in costume. This newest issue, Alan kind of disrespectfully was like, "Hey, we're gonna need your help," and he said, "I'm never coming back." Mm-hmm. Do you think there's going to be? Obviously, he's coming back eventually. This is Invincible comic. He's a superhero, and there's a massive storyline coming up. There's going to be something to force him back into the Invincible costume. Mm-hmm. It's got to be something outrageous. After everything that he's. Tell me.
There's still Viltrumites on Earth repopulating.
Yeah, but
they're all babies. I know
they're all kids
because they're not mating with the race that speeds them up. But there's still that storyline too.
Also, Oliver and Thrag know how much Mark cares for Earth. What if in the battle they're like, "We're gonna fuck up Earth"?
Well, if we're sticking with the fact that we've seen future Earth, we know that Earth isn't going to get destroyed or anything or too badly fucked up, and that is if that Earth, if that future of Earth is, going to happen. We don't know if that's another timeline or like that can be changed or not yet. We don't know, but I don't know. It's exciting though. Anything else, guys? Bill?
No.
You're deep in thought?
No, I'm just thinking about all the different, like you just said, there's so many things going on, like who knows what he's going to focus on next, and I don't know.
Yeah, they could take it anywhere. You think there's too much?
Too much.
I don't know. I think this is the point in which
piece it together perfectly.
Hardcover Volume 2, I always tell people, is the one in which, he opens up a lot of threads and then he starts tying them up. This is kind of like what Kirkman does. He starts a ton of story threads and everything like that until it's like we were just talking about before, Space Racer. Like there's tons of threads out there. He's going to start tying them up. I think this is the point in which it starts wrapping up, and then it's going to lead into Ottley's massive...
Yeah, but the one thing that I don't like about Invincible is recently, and I mean like in the past year or two, where he'll do this. He'll do like 5 months away from Earth, and then he'll do 5 months on Earth, and we won't see Invincible for 5 issues. That's
which is interesting too, because Invincible got nominated for Best Continuing Series when it was not very Invincible-like. You know what I mean? The last 12 issues or so, he's been away from Earth. There's been everything on Telestria. I mean, not saying that it doesn't deserve Best Continuing Series in that too, but it's very different. It's a very different series. That's what they even advertised when they, had the issue when they left Earth. It's all very different. It's him raising his daughter. But it's interesting. And, I mean, I think this is when he starts bringing it back together.
Well, I think that another reason for that is being that 117, I do think that they do this too much, where they try to create points in the story where new readers can come on, and that was 117, and now they're saying it's reboot, but 117 was where it kind of like started, and that was where, even like 117, it opened up with the first like 4 pages were all, it kind of was like last time on Invincible, and it just like brings you up to speed, and then it's like, and now we take off on the story, and then you turn the page, and then it continues the story, and then the next 4 issues are just them on Telestria getting used to the new planet, very simplistic, and I think that could be another reason for it. There were a lot of new readers that joined at that point.
Yeah, it could be. So, all right, thanks for listening. That does it for us today. Remember, you can send us an email at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. I also use Twitter. We're at InvincibleCast. I use that just to basically retweet creators and announce when new episodes are going up. So thanks for listening, and that does it. That sounded like X-Men.
I was actually doing Spider-Man 3.
All right, we're done. Bye.